The Shadow Assistant Defence Minister, Phillip Thompson, slammed the Albanese government today for releasing their review of our defence strategy on the eve of ANZAC Day. He spoke to Sky News this morning, describing the timing of the review's release as disrespectful.
I am absolutely appalled that this Prime Minister and this Defence Minister are so out of touch to release the Defence Strategic Review the day before ANZAC Day.
As a former soldier, you'd think that Mr Thompson would understand the importance of choosing your battles wisely, so I'm not sure why he'd want to fire his best shot in a fight over the timing of the review's release rather than over the contents of the review. It seems like he wants to die on the wrong hill. As for it being distasteful, I would have thought one of the best ways we should honour those who took up arms in defence of our nation is by ensuring the next generation that have to do so, God forbid, are well equipped for the job. Most people would understand that freedom is never completely won. We need to keep on winning freedom, and surely part of honouring our diggers is to make sure that we're maintaining the freedom they fought for. Caleb, I think he's making an issue of the wrong thing here.
Well, I think you're wrong. I mean, it is entirely the point that they brought this out the day before ANZAC Day because it's a public holiday. They know it's a day where we don't lionise the military, but we talk about the sacrifice of being in the military and the great work of those who have come before us. So it's a great time to come out with a military strategy that doesn't actually commit any more money to our military plight and simply moves it around into different places and actually results in cuts to some parts of our military. The government knew that that would not go down well, so what better time to do it than on the eve of ANZAC Day when you've got a public holiday the next day, so everyone will forget about it when they're playing two up and having a beer at the pub and thinking about the great work of the ANZACs who have gone before us. It was a brilliant political ploy by the government, and it is quite rightly being called out as a cynical political move. That's exactly what it was.
It's disgusting, and the reason why Thompson didn't lay into the contents was because everyone's doing that for him. I think Greg Sheridan put it best when he said this is a pile of smoke and mirrors. It is very disappointing. It's a pile of hot air. It's a nothing burger, this review. And I can't believe you don't think that this is disrespectful. Let's say, put it in corporate terms. Say I was to give your company a review the day before I know is the anniversary of the commemoration of over 60,000 of your corporate members dying, over 150,000 of them being gas taken prisoner or seriously wounded. You just wouldn't do that. Keep the thing about the thing on ANZAC Day. We've got so much to honour, and this was not honouring. Last point, what was the rush? They commissioned this in their first 100 days of government, so it's taken roughly a year to come out anyway. What would have killed you to hold on to it for just a few more days? As we've already covered, nothing in it
as for it being
awesome.
As for it being a slow news day, doesn't that make the point that this does get discussed? Indeed, it's been all over the news today. It's what everyone's been talking about is the cuts that they've made. So if the government were trying to hide their cuts, I mean, everybody's been talking about it. And secondly, what better time to talk about the need for a strong defence force than the day that everyone is focusing on the defence force?
No, that's just wrong, because you would know, you've been a journalist, James, that sure, public holidays are slower news days, but on public holidays, people turn off because it's the one day they can take some time out of their lives and not pay any attention.
And on any other day, it's being swamped by the rest of the news cycle.
Stories you punt up for a public holiday or, drop at 5 p.m. on a Friday is done very deliberately so fewer people will pay attention to it. And as for the point of doing it on a day where people care about the military, yes, that is true, but there is a reason they have dropped what some people would call bad news about the military on a day where we talk about the military in good terms, because they don't want us to talk about the fact it's bad news. That's why they've done it.